Welcome to Bond and Bondage Helpline, where we untangle human emotions. No safe word required. I'm Stella Black. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for your weekly glimpse behind the curtain of human behavior. If you're tuning in, chances are you're looking for love online and maybe feeling a little apprehensive about the dating world given its current state. Don't worry, you're not alone. I've seen the ways modern dating apps can both help and hinder our quest for love. But today, I'm going to share some science-backed strategies to help you find the love of your life on Bumble in particular. Let's dive in. First off, let's acknowledge something important. Finding love on a dating app isn't about luck. It's about mindset, strategy, and emotional awareness. Bumble gives you a platform, but it's up to you to make the most of it. Let's start with mindset. The first thing I want you to do is shift your focus from finding someone to building a connection. Often, when we approach dating with the idea that we have to find the one, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves and the potential partner. This can make the process feel overwhelming or even discouraging. So, the traditional view of building a connection is through the connection pyramid. At the base of it, we have mutual interests, things like hobbies, career goals, or lifestyle choices. As we move up, we build on these with emotional compatibility, and at the top, we have values and vision for the future. My take on this is that if you are looking for a long-term relationship without wasting your time on incompatible people, you have to do some serious soul-searching and acknowledge what your values are. Do you want a committed relationship? Do you want an ethically non-monogamous relationship? Where do you fall on the political spectrum? How important is it to you to be in sync with your partner on politics? Research shows that couples where partners fall on different sides of the political spectrum report lower relationship satisfaction. Do you want children? How do you feel about your prospective partner having children from prior relationships? If you are child-free, how do you feel about a partner who has children? Are you prepared for the challenges a relationship with such a partner will bring? Are you religious? How important is it to you that your partner shares your views on religion or spirituality? Remember that you must be very clear about what you want before actively looking for a partner. You have to know yourself and be certain about your values. Thinking that you can navigate around prickly topics for decades with your incompatible partner is a fantasy you can't afford to espouse. Be sober-minded and firm about what you are looking for in a partner, and don't sacrifice your values for the sake of being in a relationship. The old saying is trite but true. There is a lid for every pot. All you need is time and patience. Also, I'm pretty sure some pots are perfectly functional without lids. When you're looking through Bumble profiles, pretend you don't have a physical type. We all know that photos don't make a person, and some photos are filtered, and others are unflattering. Any given person is more than a sum of their photos. If a person in the photos doesn't make you gag, that's enough to thoroughly review their profile. A note to all the non-writers out there. Cut it out. Write something. If it is a problem for you to write about yourself, ask your friends how they see you. Our personal view of ourselves hardly ever coincides with the way others view us. That conversation could be illuminating if you have someone you trust and who can be honest with you. Also, don't base your entire identity on how others see you. Find a way to take what others say about you and analyze it wisely and without zeal. Distance yourself from your own view of yourself as well as the view the others have of you. Try to spend some time without marinating in opinions about yourself. Get off social media, stop watching videos or falling into TikTok rabbit holes. Minimize noise, and eventually your vision will clear enough to where you know and own who you are. Assuming you've done that preliminary work and you know what your values are, now start by looking for shared interests in people's profiles. While it is not required to be in total sync for all your interests, it helps to have a large number of shared ones. Passions and hobbies are important. They are a window into the private part of the person. Ask what movies a person likes. Ask why they like those movies. This isn't a random question. Much like politics, movies a person loves show you their values. Remember, in absence of knowing a person intimately, you have to initially observe and note without judgment. Pay for Bumble's membership only so you can filter out people who do not match your values and aspirations. Life is too short to spend it on swiping on obviously incompatible people. Minimize the need for swiping unnecessarily. Once you have set your filters, don't mindlessly swipe. Now you have to pay attention and carefully read the profiles. Take your time reading the profile info. Watch the language for possible code words. People can be sneaky, but most aren't sneaky to the point where they're completely opaque. Be willing to see through the veil of words. What do I mean? For example, if you are looking for marriage, and the potential match states that they are not yet sure what they are looking for, that's code word for no marriage right now, possibly not ever. If you are the marrying kind, this is something to consider. On the other hand, sometimes you have to snack on burgers while waiting for the steak, if the burger doesn't mind. But be careful there. Nothing is as permanent as something initially seen as temporary. The brain does not differentiate between a fake relationship and a real one. You will form some kind of an attachment, and the pain will be very real when you get to the point of having to part ways. It is my personal belief that it's better to be alone than to set yourself up for the pain of breaking up with someone who obviously was wrong for you all along. You deserve better. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Singledom offers a multitude of advantages. Number 1 is free time. Time is the most valuable currency. Invest it and make it work for you. Take classes, read books, learn new skills, travel if you can, get in shape, make new friends, spend time in nature, learn to meditate. I can keep going, but you already know where this is headed. Don't treat being single as a punishment. Treat it me time, and that's invaluable. Back to Bumble. Let's talk about your profile. Your Bumble profile is your first chance to make a good impression. But here's the thing. Be authentically, unapologetically you. The more genuine you are, the higher the likelihood you'll connect with someone who truly aligns with you. Fly your freak flag. Don't censor yourself. You deserve to be known and loved for who you are. Instead of thinking about what you think others want to hear, focus on the parts of your life that bring you joy. Whether it's your love of hiking, your favorite book, or your passion for painting miniature soldiers, these little details are what will catch the eye of someone who's compatible with you. Now, when it comes to messaging, remember that first impressions count. This is where many people trip up. Instead of starting with a generic "hey" or "what's up," try to show you've read their profile. Mention something specific you both have in common, or something that has piqued your curiosity in their bio. This demonstrates genuine interest and sets the stage for a deeper conversation. Tip number 2. Don't rush into deep conversations right away. In psychology, we talk about building trust and rapport gradually. The process of getting to know someone shouldn't feel like an interrogation. Ask open-ended questions and listen actively. Remember, you're not in a rush. This is an adventure, no matter the outcome. The mindset of adventure is important, as it will spare you the pain of crushed expectations. Of course, you have to get some basic info from the person you are conversing with, but you don't have to be boring about it. For example, instead of asking, "What do you do for work?" try something like, "What excites you about your job?" This lets the other person share what's truly meaningful to them. Reframe your standard boring question to get a more insightful answer. Another important piece of the puzzle is being patient. Research shows that emotional connections take time to develop. If the conversation is flowing, that's great. But if it's a little slower, don't panic. Let things evolve naturally. On the opposite side of patience is being realistic. If the person you are conversing with replies with short answers only and does not seem to be interested in learning about you, even though you ask them thoughtful questions, then it is time to wrap it up. Interest is a two-way street. Don't accept indifference. You're better than that. Tip number 3. Set clear intentions, but stay open to surprises. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, be open about your intentions. After you've built some rapport, of course. Remember that you don't have a type at this point. There are some hot nerds out there, and boring hotties. Be willing to non-judgmentally view the person you are conversing with, making sure to note any red or green flags that pop up when you chat. Ask follow-up questions if something doesn't feel right. Don't ignore red flags. Those can cost you time, or in the absolute worst-case scenario, your life. The best relationships often grow out of genuine, unexpected friendships. You might meet someone on Bumble who doesn't immediately seem like the one, but as you get to know them, you discover something deeper. Stay curious and open-minded. Remember, you don't have a type. You had a type before, and you're still single. You're trying something different this time. You're opening up your horizons. Finally, let's talk about rejection. This is the hardest part for many people. Rejection can feel personal, but in reality, it's just a mismatch in timing, needs, or chemistry. And that's okay. Everyone experiences it. If you are extremely sensitive to rejection, I'd like to suggest rejection therapy as outlined in the book titled Rejection Proof: How I Beat Fear and Became Invincible Through 100 Days of Rejection. The ability to take rejection is like a muscle. You need to work it to make it stronger. Psychologically, it's important to remember that rejection is part of the dating process, an impersonal and normal outcome in some cases, and not a reflection of your worth. Yes, we are evolutionarily programmed to view every rejection as an attempt to knock you down a notch on the societal ladder, but remember that online no one knows you were rejected, so no one judges you. Just move on calmly. If things don't work out with someone, don't be too hard on yourself. Each interaction teaches you more about what you want in a partner. Keep your mindset positive, and remember, love often comes when you least expect it. And that triteness is particularly true if you are making an effort to expand the pool of potential matches by looking outside of your type. To recap, the secret to finding the love of your life on Bumble isn't about rushing into things or having the perfect profile. It's about being yourself, building meaningful connections gradually, staying open to surprises, and being patient with the process. Remember, love is about connection, not perfection. That's enough for now. Your scars might be on the inside, but scar patches come in all shapes and sizes. Find your patch and protect them with your life. See you next week.